Just a tech teacher living in a classroom world. Took a deep dive Monday, gonna learn in a furrow. Clicking through platforms, searching for that skill. Breaking down technology, giving learners a thrill. Deep dive Monday, to the dealing tech solutions. Deep dive Monday, step by step we're revealing how to engage in every lesson we're dealing.
All right, and there goes my alarm telling me to start. We have such a short amount of time together, so I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. I know more folks have signed up to come, so they probably will trickle in. That's totally cool. I'll keep an eye on the chat, but Deborah, feel free to, if the questions are piling up, to let me know. You can interrupt me. Happy to jump over to any of those questions that come through. I will keep an eye on the chat as much as possible, but please feel free to interrupt me. All right, everyone. Well, good afternoon and welcome to our first of a series of sessions that we're going to be covering with you all on Mondays. Today's topic is Magic Write. So we're going to be in Canva Docs, leveraging the AI features to help us create and write content. For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Mónica Isabel Martinez. I am a Canva learning consultant. I provide support for Canva on the professional development side. So I'm your go-to PD person for your district, and I've been working with Deborah over the last couple of years on piecing together some PD for you all, and was just excited for us to piece this together. It's a series of sessions that you can attend, so this is one of the series. You heard Deborah and I just briefly talking about that, but look out for some more sessions every Monday for the next couple of Mondays. You'll get a chance to join us for half an hour and learn a little bit about Canva. All right, so like I said, we're going to be diving into Canva's doc as well as Magic Write. So I'm curious to know your level of expertise already with using Magic Write. So if you don't mind in the chat, go ahead and drop in a 1. If you're new or newish to and Josie, if you can mute your mic, we can hear your conversation. There we go. All right. So drop in that 1. 2, if you're somewhat familiar. 3, you're kind of in the middle between beginner and expert. Number 4, not necessarily use it every day, but you're rocking and rolling. You're good to go. You're kind of, you're there, but you're looking to level up. And then number 5, you're probably thinking, Monica, get off the stage. I'll do this session myself. So you're at that expert level. Go ahead and drop in a 5. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of 1s and 2s mostly come through with the use of Magic Write. Well, you're definitely in the right place. So we're going to dive into what you can do with Magic Write in a doc. Now, depending on time, we might actually dive into Magic Write and some of the other features, but we're mostly going to spend some time in docs. All right, so I've got a quick short video that I'm going to share with you, and then we'll kick it off.
Are you ready to try your very own AI-powered teaching assistant in Canva? Magic Write is available for teachers and teaching staff in Canva for Education right now. Let's try it out. I want some lesson ideas for a 5th grade math class that will be relevant and fun for students who love basketball. Wow, they're going to love it.
Now, I need to make some lesson content for my 7th grade science students. How about a presentation about precipitation? What a time saver.
How about a brainstorm, though? Let's spark some creativity in our art history class.
Unless that's the problem, why is it?
Nice.
Create easy, medium and hard activities to teach 2nd graders about the solar system.
Give me 10 story starter ideas for a grade 12 English class.
Adapt this text so my 3rd graders can understand it.
Create 3 math problems for grade 8 geometry students.
Design a low-budget science activity for 6th graders.
Whoa! The possibilities are endless. Try Magic Write in Canva for Education today.
Oh, they are? Okay.
All right, so that was just a really quick sneak peek.
Bluetooth? Are you the person?
And let's see, Sylvia, we can hear your audio. If you don't mind muting for us, please. All right, so that was, again, a sneak peek of what you can do with Magic Write. We're going to actually jump in and do a lot of that ourselves. So let's go ahead and dive in a little here. So first off, Magic Write is available across the entire suite of applications. We're going to focus on our Canva Doc feature, but it is available on the other tools. So if anyone in here is using Canva in the other tools, definitely look out for it, and I'll show you what to look for. But we're going to be in Canva Docs, and I'm going to highlight how you can actually activate Magic Write within a document. So one of two things. If you want to follow along, please go ahead and log into your Canva account so you can launch a document on your end. You can also just kick back. These are really short sessions. You can kick back and watch, and then, of course, go back through the recording and try things out as you watch the recording. So one of two ways is totally fine for today, given that it's such a short session. For those of you who want to follow along and create, go ahead and go to your home page. From your home page, you're going to see all of those different tools that I just showed you on that screen. So let me go ahead and navigate to my home page. This is what it looks like right now. It has changed here recently, so you'll probably have noticed a little bit of a change if you haven't been in here in a while. Down below the big search box, you'll see all of your different tools. You're looking for the Doc tool. That's this one here that's a teal color. We're going to click on that, and we're going to basically open up a brand new Canva document. Now, if you've used Google Docs or Microsoft Document, you pretty much have the basic functionality down. You know more than you think you do. I saw some ones come through when I asked you, what's your experience with Magic Write? Now, Magic Write is the AI tool built into Docs, but you do have a good amount of experience already with Canva Doc, just because, again, the basic functionality of a Canva Doc is similar to Google Docs or Microsoft Word. So you've got that down. We're now going to focus on leveraging Magic Write. Now, Magic Write appears in that top menu up here at the top. If you don't see that right away, just put your cursor in the document so that it knows that you're in the document, and that top bar should show up if it didn't automatically. In that top bar, you'll see the very first button is Magic Write. Now, Magic Write is a pro feature, and so you do have to be logged into your school account. If you're not seeing Magic Write, that can mean one of two things. One, you might not be on your school account. To make sure you are, down at the bottom left from your home page, when you click on your profile icon, the accounts section here should show your school account email. If it's showing a personal email, like for example, I've got a Gmail account that I use with Canva. That's my personal account, and then I have my Canva account. Make sure the little check mark is checked next to your school account. That's one. And two, if you're still not seeing if you still don't see the actual Magic Write button, when you come down to that profile icon, below the account section, you're going to see a Teams section. Change your team to something else, and then try to open up a new document. And you're basically going to try as many teams as you have until you see within that document that you have the Magic Write button. Because of your education account, you do have access to our pro features free of charge. So make sure that you do have that. Once you get into your document, you're simply going to click on Magic Write, and it's going to pop open this window, which is where we're going to write our prompt. For those of you who like keyboard shortcuts, notice that there's a plus button here that you can click on, and then select Magic Write. Now, when you click on that button, you'll notice that when I hover over it, it has the backslash showing me what that keyboard shortcut is. So anywhere that I'm in the doc, if I just hit that backslash, it'll pop open that menu so I can select Magic Write. So regardless of which route you go, whether it's clicking the button up at the top, the plus, or using the backslash button, all of them are going to take you to the exact same space, which is into this box where you can add your prompt. Now, I'm going to give us some sample prompts, but please fill in the blanks. I'm going to put on my third grade teacher hat. I mentioned earlier I was supporting as a third grade reading tutor at an elementary school down in South Texas, not too far from y'all. And so I'm going to put on my third grade hat here for this example. Magic Write can help us write lesson plans. It can help us differentiate instruction. It can help us draft communication that maybe is going out to parents or teachers or students. It can basically help us draft all of this information. So we're going to start with our first prompt, which is going to be create a lesson plan on magnetism and I'm going to use 3rd grade. Now you're filling in the blanks. You're going to say create a lesson plan on blank for blank grade. And then we're going to add, include 2 objectives. And 3 activities. Now we're going to differentiate. We're going to say make the activities easy, medium, and hard. If I want to address, let's say, a standard Texas teak, I need to go get the description of that teak. You can also type in teak and then put in the number. I have found that it does a much better job if I get the description instead. So if I need the teak on, this is it right here, previously pulled it open. So it is the teak 3.7A, something like that, for science magnetism 3rd grade. So it's just taking a while to load. I'm just doing a quick search for it. I happen to have it ready to go here. All right, so here is my science 3.7.A, and I'm going to take the description here, and I'm simply going to copy that text. I'm going to come back to our document, and I'm going to just simply paste it in. So now my prompt is the following. Create a lesson plan on magnetism for 3rd grade. Include 2 objectives and 3 activities. Make the activities easy, medium, and hard. The student is expected to demonstrate and describe forces, et cetera, et cetera. So I've added the teak to my request there. I'm going to click the purple button here. That is going to tell it to generate this lesson plan. And because I said lesson plan, it knows to put things into bullets, into numbered items, etc. And it's going to give me even more info than I actually asked for. At this point, once it's done generating the content, you'll notice I can now click the insert button. I also have 2 other buttons down here in the bottom left, one of which says more like this. As I read through it, I might decide, you know, I like this, but I want something slightly different. So I can say more like this, give me more. I can also say this, but maybe I need it to adjust something, or maybe I forgot to include that teak, or maybe I forgot to tell it 3rd grade. So I could say this, but adjust to a 3rd grade reading level. So you can always leverage these 2 buttons to refine your result. Once you're happy with the result, we're going to click on insert. You have to click insert. If you click off the page, you're going to lose what it has generated, and you'll have to do it again. So make sure you click insert, and that's going to insert that lesson plan into this document. So as you can see, it's giving me a lot more than I asked for. For example, it's given me discussion questions for each of my different activities. It even gave me a conclusion at the end as a way to conclude this particular lesson that I'm doing. So because we said lesson plan, it knew to kind of really give us that granular type of detail that we otherwise may have not gotten had we not placed or added create lesson plan. So that's one thing you can leverage. Now let's talk about some of the things that we can ask it to do to further tweak or to further give us sort of more content around this particular lesson plan. What if I wanted to create a formative assessment or a quiz, or something that I wanted to add to this? I can simply, down at the bottom, I'm just going to click on enter a couple of times and come down here to add more. And please, if you are testing this out on your end, please do share what you've searched for, what you got as the end result. That would be great to see. To kind of mix it up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. We're going to do develop a checklist. So I'm going to come here and prompt this one more time. And this time I'm going to say develop a checklist for students to use during peer review of, and then this is where you fill in the blank, assignment type. What is it on? And then include areas for feedback such as clarity, argument, strength, and grammar. Obviously, we're no longer in third grade. This is a higher grade level, but you can fill in those blanks. This is just an example. We could also do, for example, create a 5-question, or we can say multiple choice question with the key. So create a 5-question multiple choice quiz on magnetism with the, and let's clarify that, answer key. All right, so I'm going to click on the purple button and it's going to generate that quiz. So 5-question with the answer key. Now this is a perfect time to say this, but adjust to a third grade reading level. And then generate again, and it's going to recreate that quiz using vocabulary that third graders would understand. Once I'm done and I like it, we're going to click on insert, and voila, there is our quiz question with our answer key. All right, once again, if you're trying this out and you're adding things, please do share in the chat. I'm curious to know what others are drafting and creating on your end. Let's differentiate a little bit further. So this time we are going to look for another way to be able to leverage Magic Write. And so I'm going to go online and I'm going to search for an article on magnetism. And so let me doing that now on Google. Let me share this here. All right, so I just did a search for article on magnetism on Google. I'm going to click on this first one that comes from National Geographic. And this is going to be an article that I want to then present to my third grade students. But as you can see, this is meant for 9th through 12th grade. So if I look at the article, you'll notice that there are words like exerted and repel that my third graders would not understand. But I really love the article. I think it's great. It covers exactly what we're covering in class. So I'm going to copy this portion of the article and I'm going to come back over to our document. Now you could start a whole blank new document for this. We're going to use the same one just in the interest of the demo and time. And we're going to activate again Magic Write. So we're going to jump right back in and I'm going to first type revise this article to a third grade reading level. I'm hitting enter a couple of times and I'm just simply going to paste the article in. Now sometimes if the link to the article, if all there is in the web page is just the article and not a whole bunch of ads and a whole bunch of other stuff, you can actually just use the link and say revise the article found here to a third grade reading level and you just paste the link in. But if it does have a lot of extra stuff on the sides or in between, then it's going to grab all that content and try and revise all of that as well. So sometimes a copy paste of the content works better, which is what we're doing here. So again, the prompt is revise this article to a third grade reading level. I'm going to click on the purple button, let it do its magic. And there it goes. And once it's done, I'm going to click on insert. Couple of quick things I want to point out. The paragraphs before were much longer. You'll notice that what they've done for a third grade reading level is create shorter paragraphs. In some cases, it's really just 1 or 2 sentences worth. And in some cases, it's even giving us things in bullets and bolding content, making it more digestible for a third grader. It also changed the vocabulary. This one says magnetism is a special force that makes things like magnets stick together or push apart. Definitely better than using words like repel and exerted, right? Like this is language that my third graders would understand. So lots of things here that you can use Magic Write for in helping us differentiate content, create activities. Lots more to explore. I have some resources I'm going to share with you for those of you working with students as to how you might leverage Magic Write to help you create a lot of that content. Of course, one of the biggest uses of Magic Write is going to be to help us with communication. So we've got the holidays coming up. Maybe you're doing holiday events or concerts and things like that, and you want to draft up emails inviting parents and kids to come into all of these things. So we can use Magic Write to help us with that as well, not just for creating content for the classroom. So let's do that next. We're going to leverage Magic Write, same steps to get to this dialog box here. And this time we're going to say, write an email. And that's the key here, is that we're telling it what kind of content we want. So write an email inviting parents to the fall festival. Let's just do a festival coming up on, I'm totally going to make this up, October 31st, to be held at ABC School on, oh, we already did on, from, let's say, 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. There will be games, food, and door prizes. Teachers and staff will be present, making it a good time to get to know our staff. Encourage parents to bring their kids. This is another part that is key. Make the invite fun and inviting. You can say exciting. You could say completely different. If this was a more serious email, you could say make it serious and professional. You can tell it the tone of voice, basically. We're going to click on the purple arrow down here at the bottom, and that is going to generate this email for us. Now, just like before with our lesson plan or with our quiz, etc., it's going to give us the layer of detail we asked for plus extra. So let's take a quick look. It does give you your subject line because it does recognize, again, you said email, so it gave us a subject line. It says, join us for a spectacular fall festival at ABC School. Dear parents and guardians, it knows to include guardians. This is the way we address when we are emailing parents at home, we say parents and guardians. We're thrilled to invite you and your family to our annual fall festival at ABC School. Mark your calendars for an afternoon of fun, festivity, and fantastic memories on October 31st from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's a wonderful opportunity for our school community to come together and celebrate the autumn season. That's the kind of detail that would have taken me a good while to draft, right? Like, it's giving us sort of those nuances of the language we want to use to encourage parents to come, and we want to, you know, that excitement to come across, and it's doing all that for you. It's fleshing that out. It's going to give you all kinds of details, like here it's talking about the delicious food and games and door prizes, etc. Just like with anything else, you can come in here and make adjustments if something's not right, or if it gave you info that you're like, that's not what I said, and you can tweak and adjust. So all of this is customizable based on what you need, but it gives us a good starting point. This basically takes from what would have been a 30, 40-minute email that I've drafted to now potentially just 5 to 10 minutes where I just need to tweak and then get it ready to go out. I do want to point out the following. Let's say you do have content created, lessons, perhaps assignments that are already ready to go. You've got maybe presentations, etc. All of that allows you to, and let me just come back up to some content up here. Let's say we were looking at content that it gave us. We can highlight content that already exists, that we already have, and then activate Magic Write using this little pencil and tell it, rewrite this, or continue writing. This is too short. I want more detail. Or maybe it's the opposite. It's too wordy, too lengthy. Shorten this for me. The more fun, by the way, is definitely an elementary thing. Most of you in here were mentioning your elementary. Whenever you click more fun, it's going to rewrite it and definitely be speaking to elementary grade level students. So here it says magnetism is that enchanting force that makes magnets either cozy up or play hard to get. It's like an invisible magic trick where things pull or push without even a nudge. And so we can replace that content with this new set of information. Same thing for an email. If we wanted to make this more fun, we could click on that. Or we wanted more detail, we go back into Magic Write, and you have all of those different options to pick from. So that, in a very quick, brief session here, it was a little bit of Magic Write in Canva Docs. There's definitely more to explore, but I'm going to pause for a quick second. I just want to check in on y'all. How are you doing? What did you search for? What did you try to create or write? Please drop that into the chat if you've tried to create something. Again, if you were just kicking back, taking it in, totally fine. But I just wanted to hear from you if you did ask Magic Write to create something for you. So quick pause here just to check in. And meanwhile, I am going to go over and get the link for y'all. I do have a workbook that I'm going to share with you. And starting on page, I want to say it's 76 once you get there. Hang tight. All right. Here's a link to a workbook. It's going to take you to, it might take you to an ad. It's because it's a bit.ly link, it tends to hover here sometimes for some accounts. You can click on the link here or just kind of wait like less than a minute and it'll eventually take you here to this page. Now you see two buttons on my screen. Because I'm the owner of the template, I can go to edit template. You will only see one button, which will be view template. And that's what you want to click on once you go to the link that I just dropped into the chat. Or you can snag this bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/Canva all caps and then workbook all lowercase. Again, once you get to this screen, some of you might have to scroll down a little to see that big button that says View Template. We're going to click on View Template, and in the pop-up window, you're going to click on Open in Editor. That's going to make a copy of that workbook for you. This is going to be the workbook we're going to be using over the course of this series of sessions that we're doing. Right now, the topic we covered was Magic Write, so you're going to jump over to page 76. So let me go ahead and jump right over to 76. There's about 140 plus slides, so it's quite a bit in there. But let's jump over to slide 76. And what you're going to find in here are some basically like a little screenshot with tutorials and step-by-step instructions showing you how you leverage Magic Write in a Canva doc. So it tells you here, open a Canva doc, click on the Magic Write button, add your prompt, watch your ideas come to life. So basically what we just finished doing. How to refine and edit. Again, you can click on the little pencil to refine by, asking it to make it shorter or longer. You saw all those options earlier. I also have, let me jump over on this document. If you jump over to on your workbook, you've got page 90 and 91 as inspiration. So if you're looking for what else can I ask Magic Write to create for me, so you'll see on here generating lesson plans, we did that, generating lesson objectives, which we also included, but here are some sample prompts that you can use to write those. And then the third column is for activities, which we also did a little bit of in that first lesson we created. And slide number 91 gives you some ideas for student engagement, assessment ideas, and pedagogical approaches. So some sample prompts that have brackets where you fill in the blank. So your grade level, your content area, whatever it is that you're trying to generate there. So those are resources for you to explore. Now, we spent our time here in a doc, but you'll notice that there is also a presentation option for Magic Write. So we wanted to, let's say we have our entire lesson ready to go and we're like, I don't know what I want to say on this slide, or maybe you found a presentation online and you're like, it'd be nice to figure out what was the intention behind the slide, what should be said here. When you go to any presentation slide, you've got the notes button down at the bottom. You can click on that. It'll pop open this window and you can say generate notes down at the bottom. That's leveraging Magic Write to write notes based on the text boxes that are available on this particular slide. So here it's giving us all of our talking points for this slide, which is amazing. And I find it cheeky because it'll put in brackets things like begin by smiling and making eye contact with your audience. Pause for a moment to engage the audience. You know, it gives you sort of these talking points, which I think are really cheeky, but quite nice, right? Like it helps us figure out how to do what we're needing to do here in this on this slide. So again, in your workbook, you've got, it's from page 76 all the way to page 92 to explore some additional things regarding Magic Write. But that was it in a nutshell, y'all. That went by crazy fast. Oh my goodness. And I know I went by fast, so I'm going to stop sharing here. I'm going to come back to y'all. Curious to hear from you. Anything that stood out, any questions, what was, you know, something that you learned that you didn't know before, anything like that, feel free to add to the chat. I'm going to hang out here for a couple more minutes, see if there's any lingering questions, but otherwise that's going to be it on what I'm presenting. And thank you, Deborah. I was about to say, join us for the next few. We've got Canvas sheets and bulk create coming up. I'm going to show you how you can take data from a sheet, maybe create some certificates without having to generate one per student or one per teacher, but automatically generate those. That's Canvas sheets and bulk create. Then we're going to do some video and AI voice stuff. We're going to do whiteboard, digital whiteboard, and how to record, do like a recording. We've got a recording studio built into Canvas, so how to do like a talking presentation. So lots more to come.
Well, thank you, Monica. And